Hello everyone, welcome to another Deadlock Procast. This is Deadlock Procast number 38, and we have been on hiatus since May, so welcome back. I've been playing some other games and doing some other things IRL, but I am always coming back to Deadlock to see what the pro players are doing, and that is the point of these Deadlock Procast VODs. We are watching a pro player, in this case Zerggy, on the team Buff Enjoyers. They are playing in Deadlock Night Shift number 45 against Abrams. If I hold tab, you can see the teams in the top. Arzo, Together, Empty Dreams, Saint MXSM, Sonya Sniper, and Toss playing for Abrams. We're going to skip ahead during the pause here. 10 seconds at a time, there we go. And our Buff Enjoyers team defending from Deadlock Night Shift number 44 in EU. It is Obikim, Dmov, Cosmetical, Listic, Zerggy, and Wraith. So Buff Enjoyers are back. They have won a Deadlock Night Shift number 44, and here we are in number 45. 7 has been selected, and the characters that were banned for this game, this is actually game 2 in a best of 3 series, were Pocket, Rem, Vindicta, and Doorman, if that's any indication of the meta right now. These Deadlock Procasts do also serve as a sort of time capsule for balance and competitive teams in both Europe and North America. Again, this is the European Deadlock Night Shift Finals for some cash prizes. Deadlock Night Shift is still going strong. They've been picking up sponsors and continuing every single Wednesday. If you're curious about watching those series, do look up Deadlock Night Shift. They are the best example of pro play in Deadlock right now, which is still in early access, still invite only. Who knows when the major content patch is going to hit. But 7 is a character that everyone should know by now. He is one of the original cast members of Deadlock. He was a staple of competitive play for a long time before all these extra characters started being added. You can see at the top we've got Apollo and Venator. Holiday even has come back into popularity as she got a bit of a kit rework with her headshots and barrels. Quite strong now if you're a good aimer. But 7 has pretty much always had a positive win rate at high ranks. He is just very good at AoE damage, and his kit so far, we have already picked up Power Surge and upgraded it 1 point. Power up your weapon with a shock effect, making your bullets proc shock damage on your target. The shock damage bounces to enemies near your target, similar to Tesla bullets, and you basically just stack more spirit to scale it. His next ability, Static Charge. Apply a charge to a target enemy hero. After a short duration, the static charge stuns and damages enemies within the radius. So you can stun multiple people with that. His other ability, Lightning Ball. Shoot a ball of lightning that travels in a straight line. Does damage to all targets in its radius. It slows down when damaging enemies and stops if it hits the world or terrain. And here you see him diving right in with both the 2 and the 3 onto the enemy Lady Geist. She's going to get stunned, but not close enough to an enemy to stun both. Just keeping the farming up right now. Zergy's squad is actually slightly behind because they've already given up 2 kills here. The fact that he is saving that skill point makes me think that he will be going into Power Surge even further. Storm Cloud, his ultimate, channel an expanding Storm Cloud around you that damages all enemies within its radius. Enemies do not take damage when they're out of line of sight, and that is, of course, the ability you see 7 jump up into the air and try to zap everyone in a mile radius, but he does have 1,600 souls now. First pickup was actually only a Resto Shot, but with some more cash on hand, we'll see what he chooses to go for next. He is also going to go down here as Bebop comes and visits the lane. Was not expecting that. Shiv and Lady Geist were there most of the time, but Bebop came over to visit. Now Suppressor is going to be picked up. Suppressor, when you deal spirit damage to enemies, you also reduce their fire rate. That's going to give them some bullet resist and spirit power as well. Deadlock did receive an objective change this week. They have added what are called unstable rifts, and they can spawn in 7, 8, or 9 minute intervals on the side lanes, green or yellow, never in the center or blue lane. Here we are going to dump everything onto Lady Geist again. That does seem to be his target of choice with his buddy Infernus here. Cosmetical laning with him. 7 has been known to be a farming character though, so we do expect to see Zergy being very active around the map, collecting boxes and camps after this laning phase does break down a little bit. He does also have pretty good gank potential with that stun, which can sometimes be an AoE stun if you catch them by surprise, hitting multiple targets, but they are going to back off now, back to their own Guardian, taking a little bit of a box route. Actually not hitting all these boxes, instead favoring the denizens, as they're called, or creeps, as you'll hear me call them, because that's what I remember from other games. So again, Deadlock Pro Series exists so that we can watch pro players and see what they do better than we do in our own games. Keep in mind this is coordinated team play, so everyone is, you know, everyone's on voice, everyone has the similar goal of trying to win this best of 3 match for some cash prize. Obviously in your ladder games you're going to be solo or duo most of the time, and it can be a crapshoot whether you get a bunch of teammates that are on the same page or not, but obviously this is kind of the height of competitive play to have everyone moving toward these same goals here. You can communicate with them when you need help in a lane or when you need to come over to help them. So far it has been 5 kills to 3 in the first 6 minutes. They're not afraid to battle it out with each other in these early moments. Pro play games have been going like 24 to 40 minutes on average, I would say. Games have not been going extremely long in the last couple of months. It tends to be a sort of a snowball on one side or the other, and that may be because of the map objectives constantly changing. The urn has changed again as well to just be a solo sort of reward where one person grabs it, they can no longer drop it themselves, they have to be meleeed out of it or deliver the urn by just slam dunking it on the opposite side of the map. I'm sure we'll see that in play a little later on as well. As we get 7 minutes into the game here, there were the bridge buffs already at 5 minutes, and boxes spawn at 3 minutes now. They did slow down that feature of the game from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, but as the first Guardian here is about to be taken down, this will open up the map for both Infernus and Seven to start roaming. They are pretty even on souls still, as much as you could expect. Yep, 27k apiece. As the Guardian goes down, Seven just keeps his max distance. There's no need to tangle with anyone up close here. He does have the benefit of the big ball and the stun, allowing him to make space. We've got monster rounds picked up now, and that does go in line with Seven as a farmer. You can see the ball placement there hitting a maximum amount of these denizens as well. And now the farming begins. He's at 5.3k souls, already near the top of the field, but Grey Talon, Empty Dreams on the other side is keeping pace with him. They're going to leave a lot of farms and jars and boxes for Seven to pick up, as he can become their carry around 20-25 minutes if he is well fed. Mirage is also on the team. Mirage does also like to farm, but you can use him more as a support now with just multiple tornadoes and teleports. He does not need to be 10k souls ahead of everybody else like Seven often wants to be. We've also got Enchanter's Emblem here, which I know not everyone buys, so 18% Spirit Resist, +2 out of combat regen really helps for farmer characters, and while you're above 65% health gain bonus Spirit and cooldown reduction. Nice little defensive for mages, anyone who loves to have Spirit buildup, and that regen while out of combat is going to help for farming characters, so nice pickup there. Those spawn at 8 minutes, the Sinner Sacrifice. So he's right on time with that as well. Guardian's still in great health. If we look at the rest of the map, Infernus has moved over to the far right lane to help defend the Walker. The Guardian for the blue team is down as well in that lane. He's already picking on the big creep camps. He does have Cultist Sacrifice now, most recent pickup here, so he could use that Cultist Sacrifice to just nuke down one of the heavy camps. I'm surprised he didn't do that. Ah, here we go. So he's just taking one from the heavy camp, using the Cultist Sacrifice to eliminate the big one in the smaller camp. I'm curious, he is actually going to return. Just monitoring his cooldowns, I suppose, to be able to do this efficiently. And you can see the melee is actually hitting both targets as well. Something that if you're not doing already, you should be figuring out is how to melee multiple creeps at one time. This is the newest Denizen camp that has been added. It was added a couple of months ago, but still not everyone thinks to check there. As part of their route, we've got Big Ball launching out here, so Looking at his skill points now, Power Surge was maxed first, then we put 1 point into Static Charge. Again, we are building skill points, but there is going to sink 1 into Lightning Ball and 1 into Storm Cloud. So Power Surge first, 1 in each of the 3 remaining. Arcane Surge is going to get picked up as well. After you dash jump, the next ability you use within 7 seconds will have bonus range, duration, and spirit power. He is dueling with the Geist, but Geist, of course, can recover some health. 7 is not so far ahead that he can really just fight anyone he wants to. Clearing out the church on this side for a few more souls as well. 10.5 minutes in. So there are some options now. Since the Guardian in this lane is down, he's just going to probably pick up the wave and start moving once again. Lady Geist is nearby, but again, I don't think he's in a position where he really wants to duel anyone. And you can see he's going to take just around 250 damage for scooting out of there. Kills-wise, we're at 12-6 now. Saint does go down as Viscous, Billy in critical condition. There is a team fight going on in the mid lane while we watch 7 obliterate more camps. Again, keep in mind he's got the ball placement so that it hits all the denizens at one time. Now he is leaping back over to his lane to defend against Geist and make sure he gets each wave as it approaches. Ball goes out. Great placement. Hits pretty much the entire wave. Spare 1. Easy cleanup. And now he's got enough money for Heal Bane. Your spirit damage applies healing reduction. If an enemy hero dies under this effect, you receive a large heal. So we've got Suppressor and Heal Bane both for the 7 bullets now. Extra health, Enchanter's Emblem, Resto Shot, all keeping him alive, and Arcane Surge and Cultist Sacrifice as sort of offensive abilities here. He has only died the one time when Bebop came and visited the lane a long time ago. Grey Talon is 4-0-5. Over on the other side, that's Empty Dreams playing the Grey Talon. Grey Talon being considered as a sort of strong character because he's pretty basic and can take care of himself and still secure kills pretty frequently. Here is the unstable rift mechanic that we talked about. 50 seconds before it spawns, it tells you which lane it will be in. 25 seconds before it spawns, it starts to descend and activate. Now that it is active, it is a King of the Hill mechanic. You can see the blue team with 4 players in the zone, 5 players in the zone, getting it up to 100%. Rift secured, so Zerggy is not going to stay and watch, but you can see on the mini-map, some of those big circles are actually Rift troopers. If we just take his POV for a second, there were some dark-looking troopers headed toward their objectives, and Grey Talon obviously took them out as fast as he can. Early on, the Rift troopers are not insanely strong, obviously. There were a lot of Abrams players there to deal with them as well. But later in the game, you can actually spawn more Rift troopers if your team is behind on souls. They are a little behind on souls at 60k to 64k. They're down 14 kills to 7, but this game is nowhere near over. Bebop goes down there as he gets surrounded. We saw Billy and Holiday both taking him down there. Bebop himself is 1, 3, and 8. 8 assists are nice, but 3 deaths are not at 13 minutes. Taking another big camp here. Cultist Sacrifice still not active yet. As far as skill points, we put 2 into our Storm Cloud, and we've got 3 saved up now, so it makes me think we are going to see all 5 into that Storm Cloud once they are available. He's not going to be using his abilities just flippantly to take out these 4 minions at a time. He is going to save all of his abilities for battles, probably with other players at this point. He knows someone is down here. It is going to be Saint as the Viscous, using his ultimate, but getting popped like a bubble down there in the subway. Holiday and 7 both getting some credit now. Rake 1, 2, and 6 overall. We just picked up Spirit Lifesteal and Mystic Vulnerability, so the souls count 15k now for Zerggy, our 7-player Venator on the other side. Sonya Sniper has been doing the farming role for Abrams. And Venator is, of course, still a strong pick, has not received any, huge nerfs or anything like that. Still a very Soldier 76 kind of playstyle. You can stay in the back and just constantly be shooting. Always be shooting, always be grenading. And Seven here just looking for lots of objectives. The juicier the objective, the better. These center sacrifices are the next best thing to getting a solo minion wave, so keep an eye out for those center sacrifices. Make sure you time them properly to get the buffs at the end. We also, right at the 15-minute mark, have the bridge buffs. He's going to let this one go to Mirage, as Seven will be farming still for a while, probably not making the most use of those mobility buffs, while Mirage is, again, in this role. Demoff is playing a little more of a support character rather than a hard carry farmer. Shiv is going to be targeted. Shiv is a monster right now in competitive and ladder play. His current round of balance patches actually got sort of repealed. They gave him some changes and then took them back the next day, so Shiv is still kind of terrorizing people at the moment. If you're looking for someone to play in ranked and have never tried them out, you can check out some Shiv gameplay from months ago here on this channel, but I do plan on getting back into some more commentary. This is what I enjoy doing with my free time, and people have asked me if I'm going to commentate Deadlock, and I say, well, I already did 30-something games. I would like to commentate Deadlock, but right now Night Shift is the only regular content series. Maybe I can rustle up some players. We have seen some variety now in the teams that are playing in Deadlock Night Shift, whereas before it was really only 2 or 3 teams. Leviathan, Abrams, we had over in North America, Bird with Clock and Melee Creeps and Floormen kind of running things. Now FPS Lounge is in the mix. We have Buff Enjoyers here in EU back in action, so more teams are taking it more seriously, but I do feel like the casual player base for Deadlock right now is probably waiting for a big content patch. We did have the 6 new characters added back in February and March, and the timing suggests that another content patch is around the corner. We've seen hints and back-end changes and things like that as well. You can see Seven still just marauding around the map, picking up all the souls that he can. 20k now is a 5k lead over everyone on his team, and he's even with Venator on the other side. We did just pick up escalating exposure, so 7 with items can be quite terrifying. He did also max out his Storm Cloud and now is starting in the Lightning Ball upgrades. Got the stun onto Venator. You can see that popping up in the middle of the screen there, but no one was ready to pursue. Too many players from Abrams to really continue chasing that. And Shiv is nearby. You can hear him. We can see him on the minimap, but Zerggy can also just hear him nearby. Again, plopping that ball right through the middle of the pack there, saving time as often as possible. Hitting the wave while he's here. So he's basically responsible for this wave. Now that the Guardian is gone, he just has to make sure he gets back in time to protect the Walker each time. You can see the Walker health on both sides. Actually very strong for both teams. We do have the Rejuvenator in the middle of the map now spawned, so anyone can, you know, win a team fight and head over there for the Rejuvenator buffs. There should be another Unstable Rift sooner or later as well. But right now, Zerggy just contemplating where he's going to head to after taking down these 4 minions. He is doing the stutter slide as well. Stairs to save ammo. If you didn't know, you have infinite ammo while sliding. You'll see that infinite pop up on his ammo count every time he slides. And doing the little stutter step on the stairs can get you a lot of extra ammo. However, right now it's not going to matter. He drops a whopping 536 souls as well as he gets cornered by Geist and Shiv. Just one of the dangers of being in charge of a lane on your lonesome. So 41 seconds dead. Let's take a look at Mirage over in this lane battling against Bebop. Now that this map objective is up, 7 is not going to be alive to be a part of it, but we've got 3 players. We're at 97k souls to 98k, so the soul advantage is not going to give them, you know, really additional troopers. Mirage is actually going to bounce out of there. We'll watch Apollo actually secure it. The Rift troopers will spawn, and we are going to battle Shiv while 7 is dead for 10 more seconds. Itani Losan gets committed, but now Apollo is being targeted by a majority of the players on the enemy team. I liked that little terrain jump to try to get away from them, but Apollo ultimately does go down. 103k souls to 103. The Rift troopers are here at Grey Talon's area here. I think I clicked the Walker accidentally there, and not Grey Talon, but you could see the Rift Troopers. I didn't know I could actually click a Walker's perspective. Now I know. I'm not sure if that's a new addition or if I've always been able to do that. But Bridge buff is spawning in about 2 seconds. It is going to go to 7 with the Spirit buff. And keep in mind those Bridge buffs do also alternate. If you see Spirit and Gun on one set, it's going to be Movement and Health on the next set, and they will alternate that way the rest of the game. You don't know necessarily which bridge which buff will be on, but you do know which of the two will be spawning on each 5-minute interval. We've got a big group gathering over in this left lane. 7 headed back over, gets eyes on Viscous. Skill point wise, has not maxed the ball yet, but it looks like that is still going to be the priority over the Power Surge, or over the stun rather. Looks like all the effects are getting used here. Infernus lands an ultimate. There's a jar just sitting there. That is the urn that one person can carry or drop now. Not as massive of a team objective as it used to be. Venator actually sneaks a kill in there before escaping, potentially, from the Apollo. Not gonna happen. Apollo still dueling it out with Shiv. They get the stun, and suddenly Holiday and Apollo can clean him up. It's 19 kills to 22. Remember when it was 14 kills to 7 and our team Buff Enjoyers were on the losing end? Now they have 3 enemy players down. They were able to take both unstable rifts, and now they are stabbing away at this mid-boss. Our Hero 7, Zerggy, is down for another 20 seconds, so we can watch them make some progress on this mid-boss. It looks like there's plenty of time for the enemy team to respond to this as they come stomping in. The boss battle may be over by the time Zerggy even returns. Bebop is going to get focused first, and Bebop can't do a lot while he is being focused down. Viscous ultimate comes in to try to stun everyone from taking the rejuve, and ends up with 2 on the side of Buff Enjoyers. 7 is getting back into play now, though. Actually, he is just going to clear the lane, and you can see how efficient he is at that. Let's click back over to Apollo while this fight is still going on. He gets the kill onto Bebop, and still 5 players standing there with 2 rejuve charges in hand. What a great play there from Buff Enjoyers. Now 7 is back in the mix in this mid lane, looking for targets to shoot. Venator is going to be found, and the stun is dropped right on him. He shoots the trap before going up, but does get hit by the Grey Talon trap instead. Multiple traps on the side of Abrams, but finally an upswing for our Buff Enjoyers after being slightly down most of this time. We see 7 now at 26k souls. He's got some pretty good items going. Spirit Shredder bullets were picked up as well, so now we're dropping their spirit resist, dropping their healing, and dropping their fire rate whenever we deal spirit damage to people, and that's anything with the ball, the static charge, or the power surge, or the storm cloud. So 7's full kit is also just going to be limiting the action from the enemy team whenever they are in team fights. It's really up to his teammates to pour out the damage and the CC beyond that, but 28k souls now. Cultist Sacrifice gets popped for the big one, and that camp is gone in about 1 second overall. 8,000 souls ready to spend here. We do not want to drop the bag ever again. We lost 500 earlier. We have 1,500 unsecured right now. Picking up another Sinner Sacrifice. We're at 8,400. You can look at the minimap and see that he's in pretty safe territory, as no one is beyond sort of the midline, the meridian of the map here, the middle point, or the mid-boss spawns. And we do still have 1 rejuve charge on the side of Buff Enjoyers, so I doubt Abrams will be pressing in any kind of fight anytime soon. Dispel Magic picked up. Purge all non-ultimate negative effects currently applied to you. If any effects were removed, heal yourself and gain a move speed bonus. Unstoppable also picked up for the ultimate. Temporarily suppresses negative status effects and become immune to stun, silence, sleep, root, and disarm. Cannot be used while stunned or slept, so you just hit it right before you're about to use your ultimate. So far, though, just running and gunning is all we have to do as Zerggy on the 7. Zerggy is also going to pop the ultimate. We did use Unstoppable right before. He did get a piece of 3 or 4 enemy players there in total. Shiv is down, so they could continue to move forward here, trying to take down this Walker. Launches the bulb just blindly to keep anyone at bay in there. I was going to point out right before he used all of those abilities that Zerggy is also famous for using a trackball, and you can watch him on Twitch using that trackball, streaming most days of the week. He is an aspiring Deadlock pro player, and with Buff Enjoyers he has won Deadlock Night Shift in the past, so always a chance that he could be a name we see for years and years if Valve does continue to pour some love into Deadlock. I think the build your own shooter aspect of the game will entice a lot of pro players from other shooters to come play as well. Here's the new urn, so he cannot drop it himself. He has to be punched to drop it. He does gain a move speed bonus though, and you can see how fast he's running it here. We are even enough on souls that the turn-in point is still neutral, just in the mid lane on the other side. I believe that turn-in point can still change if you are heavily favored or heavily unfavored. He is going to run it all the way back to his base, though, maybe to just purchase something before continuing on. Yes, he is going to pick up Bullet Resilience. You cannot drop the urn or take the zipline, though. I'm not sure if he super realized that. He actually looked up like he was going to be able to zipline out of there, and instead he is going to have to actually hoof it all the way over to the urn turn-in. We do have Billy and Shiv waiting, and it looks like an Unstable Rift was secured, actually, by Shiv this time around, so you can see the big circles. Billy is going to be facing those Rift Troopers, and it looks like it spawned about 7 or 8 of them this time around. Now 7 is here to help out. He is not silenced, and the urn timer is ticking down, but he will be able to slam dunk it in now. You can see a bunch of souls spawn for any enemy players to shoot down. If they do happen to witness the dunk turn in, they may be able to get a piece for themselves, but as the case is now, we have no more cultist sacrifice, but we are a heavy machine gun at this point with all of our items that we have equipped here. So 7 looking stronger and stronger, 2, 3, and 6 score line, but 36k souls to even the enemy Venator, 33k souls, 7 kills on Empty Dreams, but only 28k souls, and together with 6 kills and 9 assists on Shiv, has still dropped below 1,000 souls per minute, which is a mark we really like to see at 20 minutes. If you're not at 1,000 souls per minute at 25 minutes, you probably need to go farm. And right now, the soul counts are all over the place for Abrams. 158k total, but majority of them are on Venator and Geist, who have not really popped off as like hyper carries yet. 7 is getting very far ahead of players like Bebop and Viscous. So this is starting to slide out of the control of Abrams into the hands of Buff Enjoyers. We've got Leech picked up now as well, straight up 25% Spirit Lifesteal, 25% Bullet Lifesteal, bonus health, weapon damage, and Spirit Power. Just a great all-around item for anyone who likes to shoot and use Spirit damage. Excellent pickup there. And suddenly we've got lots of defensive abilities as well as those debuff abilities for our player here, Zerggy. Zerggy, I believe, is also in the UK, if you're interested in that tidbit. Playing with Dmov, Cosmetical, Listic, Obi Kim, and Vrake, who are all on other EU teams in the past. They've come together now to make Buff Enjoyers and are having a pretty good run of it. There have been some other Deadlock tournaments popping up here lately in the last couple of months. Some of them do even offer EU versus NA matches, but obviously someone is going to be at a disadvantage. I believe EU did still take down a lot of North American teams playing across the Atlantic from Europe to North America. But that's a story for another time, as we have a battle erupting here. Everything is going to get committed onto the Bebop. He's not going to pop Unstoppable or Debuff Remover or anything like that because they have him dead to rights already. Bebop, wrong place, wrong time. Now Lady Geist is nearby. I hear the Owl zooming in. Did not score a kill, but may have actually connected with Infernus there. The Owl's still screeching around. Empty Dreams does get the kill on Cosmetical in the end. We've got Venator, who is a great target, a juicy suspect here for Zerggy to try and chase down. He did already commit his stun, and now he just needs to blast him down. He is going to actually use the ultimate to avoid the Walker Stomp and to sort of root out enemy players. We found the Lady Geist, which I was not aware was there, and he's going to do 5,000 damage to this Walker over the course of that little skirmish as well from the Storm and other abilities that he was using. So 7 is in a position now to gun down enemies. Cultist Sacrifice again being used. He's still got it. He's still killing stuff. I was wrong earlier. I don't know why I misspoke there, but Cultist Sacrifice still being employed 30 minutes into the game. Another round of mid-boss for our buff enjoyers. They're suddenly up 28 kills to 26, so they finally do surpass Abrams in that stat this late into the game, 30 minutes in. And I was saying earlier, a lot of games last, 24 to 40 minutes, I would say, in these pro play scenarios, and the Rejuvenator mid-boss actually is usually a big determinant of how long these games are going to go. But 3 rejuves picked up by buff enjoyers. Zerggy is going to get the kill on Arzo. That Lady Geist was 33k of their souls, even though he's only got 2 kills. That was a big target to pick up. Now together, going down 7, 6, and 10, but just does not have the defense he needs to survive in those team fights. We've got Billy and Seven both on killing sprees. Listic 8, 3, and 12. Very good game for Billy. That front liner managing to have such a good stat line is a great credit to him. Demov 13 assists, Obi-Kim 15 assists, Holiday 16 assists, so they are ever present in those team fights. And now with 3 rejuves, 2 walkers down, you got to imagine they're going to storm down this lane to get that final walker. While Shiv and Geist are down, this is a great time to do it. Grey Talon doesn't really have a body to contest with, he's pretty much just a threat of damage. While Viscous and Venator also... Venator does not want to be the brunt of the damage. Viscous can obviously roll around and cube a little bit, but the numbers are just going to favor Zerggy and company. The soul urn was returned by Wraith just now, so 206k souls to 178k. The scales are tipping. We're going to get a huge grab by Bebop all the way into the twins, but in the end, it's not going to matter too much. He's returning so much health. Look at that. That health returning just from the leech. Pretty incredible. We do also have Spiritual Overflow picked up. He did max out his Lightning Ball. It's going to be Static Charge as the final upgrade once that point comes across, but the entire team of buff enjoyers here just storming down the lane together. Snagging the kill on Bebop is going to buy them even more time to parade around here in the mid lane, take out these twins. Once you take out the twins, your hyper line in that lane becomes super fast. Once you take down the shrines, you get buffed minions as well, so everything going well here for buff enjoyers. Even though Apollo goes down, there's still rejuve charges ready for him. 4 of the players still have rejuve available. Now Mirage is going to burn that last one, but as the ultimate gets committed, we are tagging multiple players on Abrams with those debuffs, with that damage. Hidden King going to get stripped the first layer down already in a matter of seconds. And we're 32.5 minutes into this game with Venator and Bebop down. Everyone's still in good health except maybe Billy and Infernus. They can be kind of careful here, but as Geist goes down, that's a huge amount of damage missing from Abrams. Viscous trying to save Shiv. Looks like he is ultimately going to fall as well. Now we know Bebop, who's been sort of a punching bag lately. 1, 10, and 12. Unfortunate for Toss as he gets eliminated. That's just assists piling up. Listic, Wraith on the board, 7 here to help out, and that is a victory for buff enjoyers. Again, this was game 2 in a best of 3 series for Deadlock Night Shift number 45. If you want to go check out those VODs, do go search for Deadlock Night Shift. And now, of course, we're going to see the stats from everyone. Billy actually got MVP, and I was pointing out how crazy it was that he was surviving so well as the frontliner. Empty Dreams makes the board there for his great Grey Talon play, but if we look at the scoreboard, it's Zerggy with 51k souls, no one else even touched 40k, 25k objective damage, no one else even touched 14k. You can just see the massive difference in output here from 7 and 15k healing we saw just toward the end there during those big team fights in the base. He was taking so much, but it was replenishing so quickly just from the abilities he was using. If we look at the graphs, damage dealt by type for our 7-player, Power Surge, that number 3 ability with the sort of Tesla bullets effect, doing nearly 10k damage on top of the gun. Lightning Ball 5600, Stormcloud 4300, not much crit to speak of. Escalating Exposure is a good item purchase for that extra damage, but 7 overall, not doing the most damage, but definitely being the most active on the map. Only 3 deaths, pretty good stuff there. And yeah, you can see why Billy got that MVP with the most kills as the front liner. Very impressive stuff there with 39k damage as well, leading the team, or at least tying the team lead with Apollo. So great stuff from Buff Enjoyers. I hope that you did enjoy this Deadlock Procast. I'll be doing more throughout this week. Please do like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more Deadlock content from me in the future. I appreciate everyone who has watched these. If you could share them with people who are learning Deadlock, that would be great for me as well. And I do hope to see you again. Have a great day or night, and good luck in your games. Until next time.